It's time again for the Science Bowl.
Zoo Parade for 5. What big teeth the hippo has are actually a pair of these. Science Potpourri for 10. Would a snake most likely eat every day? Every week, Dateline Science for 10. Why are some elephants wearing necklaces these days? Green things for 15.
And now, here's your host, Mr. Z himself, Dave Zarin.
Thank you and welcome to this special edition of Science Bowl. The two teams you're about to meet are vying for the chance to be the third of our 4 semifinalists in this year's elementary school competition, joining Northview and Berwyn Heights. Let's meet our teams now. First, from Glenarden Woods Elementary, please say hello to Donovan Harvey, Vinay Rachakanda, and Kaylee Held. And from Hollywood Elementary School, our players, please meet Maria Kashapada, Syria Radhakrishnan, and Anne-Lorraine Santos. And now here are the categories of questions we use on Science Bowl.
Okay, Mr. Z, here's today's categories. Green things, questions about plants and all things green and growing. Zoo Parade, a Noah's Ark of questions about animals. Body systems, we'll see how much you know about yourself, about things like breathing and growing, and digesting your food. Let's get physical. Questions that test your knowledge of physics and chemistry, earth science and space science. Then there's Science Potpourri. Here's a grab bag of science questions, everything from air pollution to the kitchen sink. And finally, Dateline Science. We'll ask you about science history and science in the news.
Here on Science Bowl, our game board reflects the difficulty of the questions, with the easier questions worth 5 and 10 points, the tougher ones worth 15, 20, and ultimately 25, the toughest of them all. Both of our teams start out with 50 points, no penalties ever for incorrect answers. At the end of the 2 rounds, we will have that third semifinalist, not to put any pressure on you. Let's go over and make sure everything's working properly. Vinay, would you try your buzzer? Thank you. Good luck to you, to Donovan, and to Kaylee. And Surya, would you try yours? Thank you. Good luck to you, and to Maria, and to Anne-Lorraine. Congratulations. Boy, you folks have distinguished yourself all season long, and we're so happy you've made it this far in the competition. A lot at stake, but just have a good time and know that you're already elite students for being here. Let's have a great game. We go alphabetically G before H. So, Glenarden Woods, let's play the Science Bowl.
Dateline for 10.
Dateline for 10 points. Teams, Joseph Priestley we associate with the gas oxygen, but back in 1772 he discovered nitrous oxide, which is today used as a dental anesthetic. Back then it was a parlor game because it made people do what? Uncontrollably. Hollywood.
Laugh.
Laugh. It was laughing gas. It is laughing gas. People used to use that as kind of a play toy. Go. Green.
Zoo Parade for 15.
Zoo Parade for 15 points. Teams, what D-initialed term describes animals like pigs and horses and cows that are comfortable around people? D-initialed term, Glenarden Woods.
Domesticated?
You got that right. Domestic animals. They have been domesticated. They got used to us a long time ago. Red.
Let's get physical for 10.
Let's get physical for 10 points. Teams, NASA's Cassini spacecraft has extended its life because as recently as 2007, it found yet another ring around this planet. Hollywood.
Saturn?
Saturn, absolutely right. Good, go, green.
Let's get physical for 15.
Let's get physical, 15 points. Teams, this morning ground level cloud was described by the poet, yes, Hollywood.
Fog?
Fog, yes. The poet Carl Sandburg says it arrives on tiny cat feet. You can't hear it coming in. Nicely done. Green.
Dateline for 15.
Dateline for 15 points. Teams, your question is as follows. A footprint left at the base of Tranquility in 1969 on this celestial body has been designated a World Archival Site by the UN. Vinay.
The moon?
The moon is right. Yes, I heard that in stereo over here. Good, go.
Let's say green things for 10.
Green things for 10 points. Teams, people who smoke marijuana, which is an illegal weed, say that if they smoke that, at least they're not going to get cancer, which can happen if you smoke what other weed? Glenarden Woods?
Tobacco?
Tobacco is correct. Yes, indeed. Thank you, Kaylee. Go red.
Body systems for 10.
Body systems for 10 points, teams. The name of the canal beneath your tooth that nobody wants to travel down is known as what canal, Glenarden Woods?
Root canal. The root canal?
The root canal, absolutely. If your dentist says you need a root canal, it starts to hurt just at the sound of it. Absolutely right. Go red.
Let's...
Science potpourri for 10.
Science potpourri for 10?
Potpourri for 10 points. Before I ask the question, a quick score update. Very close. Glenarden Woods 100, Hollywood 85. The category Science Potpourri 10-point question. Teams, although animals can get a perfect copy of themselves each and every time, if they reproduce this way, it's... Yes, Hollywood.
Asexual?
Asexual, vegetative propagation, absolutely right. Because the genome is locked up, it can be attacked by parasites and fungus and mutations, so it is not as good as it sounds. Nicely done. 195, almost a dead heat. Green.
Science potpourri for 15.
Potpourri for 15 points. Teams, the only rock that we humans eat on a regular basis has the chemical... Yes, Hollywood. Yes, ladies.
Can I pass it to Anne-Lorraine?
You may indeed.
I think iron.
Not iron. Good try. The only rock that we humans eat on a regular basis, Glenarden Woods, has the formula NaCl. What condiment am I talking about?
Sodium?
More.
Salt?
Salt is what I want to hear. Yes, sodium chloride or salt is the condiment. Good. Red.
Let's do body systems for 5.
Body systems for 5 points. Teams, this body part was the subject and one-word title of a famous musical that described this body part as knotted, twisted, braided, and beaded. Hollywood.
Hair.
Hair, absolutely right. As long as you can grow it. It was long before your time. Green.
Zoo parade for 20.
Zoo parade for 20 points. Teams, your question is as follows. Listen carefully. We all know that dogs can be spayed so that they cannot reproduce, but now some veterinarians, not all, some, are making incisions in dogs' larynxes so that they too become like Caesar Milan on television, dog whats?
Whisperer.
Whisperers, right. They're cutting their vocal cords so that they can't make sounds. People who are upset about dogs barking oftentimes demand that this take place. Seems a bit barbaric to me. All right, the buzzer has sounded. What a game we have. Hollywood 120, Glenarden Woods 115. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back in just a moment. And welcome back to Science Ball. A real nail-biter here, just as we expected. Today's winner goes on to the semifinals, joining Northview and Berwyn Heights in that winner's circle. And our score, 115 to 120. Take a little bit of a break. You've earned it. Let's tell the audience a little bit about each of our players. Let's go first to Glenarden Woods. Miss Cecilia Bolding over there, your principal. Miss Nancy Stewart, your proud and very accomplished sponsor. Vinay, tell us about the team. There are more of you than I see.
Yeah. The other people on our team are Christine Pham, Nina Cummins, Emma Greer, and Ivy Antunes.
Wonderful. We'll bring all of them out there rooting for you. They're yelling the answers even though you can't hear them. Tell me a little bit about yourself. And I know you love to play chess. And you and Donovan play chess, right? Mm-hmm. You're buddies that way. And you've been part of the feast over there at Glenarden Woods. I know you're still thinking about what you want to do when you get older, but what are some of the things you do other than chess that maybe are pointing you in a certain direction?
I played tennis, I played the piano, and I like to read.
Yeah.
And I like to play video games.
Wonderful. All right. You know, reading stands you in good stead no matter what you want to do in life, and readers always do well on this program. Nice to have you in the captain's chair over there. Kaylee, nice to have you on our show. Young lady who wants to be a teacher, wants to go to Columbia University. And who in your family preceded you there?
My grandmother.
Your grandmother. Boy, was she I'm sure she is very proud that you want to follow in her footsteps there. Why a teacher? Were you inspired by a teacher?
My father's a teacher.
Really? What does he teach?
He teaches technology at Robert Goddard Montessori.
Wonderful. Wow. I know he's very proud of you. And how do you come by all your science knowledge, Kaylee?
My mother.
Your mother. Yeah. What does she do?
She's a neuroscientist.
Wonderful. Wow. Wow. That's certainly in your favor today. Donovan, nice to have you here. A young man who wants to be a lawyer, wants to go to Harvard Law School. Is that right? Mm-hmm. Aim for the best. Go for the Ivy League. Why the law? Do you like to argue?
Yes.
Yeah. Oh, I don't know about that smile. He's got that killer smile already, doesn't he, judges, huh? All right. And do you win your arguments?
Sometimes.
Sometimes. All right. You're going to have to win more of them, you know, if you're going to be successful as a lawyer. I like having you on the show here. And let's find out about Hollywood. The stars over there, they have their star mascot next to Maria there. Maria, can you hold that up? All right. The star doesn't have a face or anything, does it?
No, but it has a name.
What's its name?
Its name is Hoodie, because like Holly and Woody together are Hoodie.
Oh, I never would have figured that out. Okay, Hollywood, the stars are out over there. The matching blue shirts over here with the yellow piping and letters. We've got the red stars over there at Hollywood. Surya, the principal is Miss Caskey is your principal, and your sponsor is?
Miss Jennifer Garrity.
Absolutely, and she is at her first year as a sponsor, and what a wonderful job she has done. She has taken you almost, maybe, to the semifinals if this works out today. Tell me about yourself, Surya. You're a musician, are you not?
Mm-hmm. I play the clarinet and the violin.
Wow. And tell me what you hope to do.
Well, maybe a sports player, because I like sports, and maybe an author.
What kind of sports do you play?
Like soccer or softball and football sometimes.
Wow. So you're a scholar athlete, so you've got a lot going for you. Why did you want to be on Science Bowl?
I like science, and I did it last year, and it was fun.
Wonderful. And that experience certainly helps. Maria, nice to have you with us today. Tell us about yourself. What do you do in your spare time?
I like to cheerlead and sing, and in school we put on shows, so I like to act in shows.
Wow. So you like to be in front of the crowd, just like you are today. Here you are in front of all of Prince George's County, people rooting for you, and your talents are on display, your knowledge. How do you know so much about science?
My older brother, he likes to teach me about science in his spare time.
Yeah, that's a good older brother to do that. He must really respect you and look up to you. And Lorraine, nice to have you with us today. Young lady, we talked last time about her interest in origami, and you've made all kinds of things with origami, that paper folding procedure. Of all the things you've made, what's your favorite? What was maybe the most difficult?
I can't remember, but I think a turtle.
Turtle, yeah, well, that's round, and papers have angular sides, so I can imagine that would be tough. What do you want to do as a career?
Like what I said, I want to be a scientist that learns or make technology. Technology,
all right. Well, that's the trend today. If you don't know technology, you're kind of left behind. You folks are certainly in the forefront. Let's get back to our game. Glenarden Woods 115, Hollywood 120. Lots of points to give away. Good luck. Green, start us out. Surya.
Zoo Parade for 25.
Zoo Parade for 25, the big one in that category. Teams, I'm looking for an M-initialed word here. If an animal pretends to be another animal because that animal is either unattractive or inedible to predators, what kind of practice is the original animal engaged in? Glenarden Woods.
No, that's not right.
What do you think, Vinay?
Pass it on to Kaylee.
Kaylee?
Mockery.
Mockery. Judges. Not quite. Hollywood, what M-initial term describes an animal that pretends to be another animal that is either unattractive or threatening to a predator?
Can I give it to Anne-Marie?
Sure.
Mimic?
Mimic is what I want to hear. Exactly right. That's the M-initial term. Mimicry, not mockery. Nice try there, Kaylee. 145, 150, Hollywood in the lead. Go Surya.
Let's get physical for 20.
Let's get physical for 20 points. Teams, a multiple choice question. If you are breathing in pure oxygen, are you breathing in oxygen that is 2 times, 3 times, or 5 times the amount of oxygen found in the atmosphere? Hollywood.
3 times?
Not 3 times. Glenarden Woods, twice, 3 times, or 5 times the amount of oxygen in the atmosphere if you're breathing pure oxygen.
5 times?
5 times is absolutely right because air is 20% oxygen. Good comeback. Red.
Let's go with green things for 15.
Green things, 15 points. Teams, forest fires apparently do a lot of good because scientists have discovered that smoke actually encourages the seeds of plants to begin this process of growing. What's that process called, Hollywood? Yes, ma'am? Okay, let's not ring in unless you have an idea, Glenarden Woods. The smoke from forest fires apparently does some good. It encourages seeds of plants to start the growing process. What's that process called?
Germinate.
That's exactly what I want to hear. They start to germinate. Good job, good comeback. All right, 150, 145. Again, almost a dead heat. Vinay.
Dateline science for 5.
Dateline for 5 points. Teams, just as scientists count numbers of animals in a population, so too do we Americans count each other in this decennial count. Glenarden Woods.
The census.
The census, absolutely right. Engaged in it right now. Good, go. Once every 10 years.
Dateline for 20.
Dateline for 20 points. Teams, people who suffered from this disease back in the 1950s were oftentimes found in iron lungs. The vaccine that Jonas Salk protected most people. Today, people who got that disease are getting it again because it damaged their nerves so much. Hollywood, after all of that, can you tell me the name of that disease?
It's bronchitis?
Not bronchitis, good try. People who suffered this disease in the 1950s oftentimes had to go into an iron lung as part of their treatment. Today, they're re-suffering again because it damaged their nerves so badly. A vaccine was developed by Jonas Salk against this disease. Can you tell me?
Pass it on to Donovan.
Donovan?
Polio.
Polio it is. That's what you want. That's what you pulled it out of the hat. That's what I want to hear. Good. Go. Red.
Let's see. Body systems for 15.
Body systems for 15 points. A multiple choice question. Listen carefully. People around the world are aghast that some children in Haiti are dying from this bacterial disease that you get from deep puncture wounds that are not treated. Sometimes this is called lockjaw. Its more technical name is typhoid, tuberculosis, or tetanus. Which of those three is it? Hollywood.
Tuberculosis?
Not tuberculosis. Puncture wounds that are not properly treated, a bacterial disease, lockjaw, otherwise known as typhoid, tuberculosis, or tetanus.
Tetanus?
Tetanus is right, yes. That's where you get a tetanus shot if you ever cut yourself or step on a nail. Good. Red.
Dateline for 25.
Dateline for 25, the big one in that category. Listen carefully, teams. Listen carefully. This is a tough question. This device in physics that causes the speeding up of energy particles like electrons has the same name as the part on an automobile that keeps getting stuck in Toyotas. What same word describes both of those? You'll get 25 points. Get back in this game, Hollywood, if you can tell me that part of your car.
The brake?
Not the brake. Nope. Glenarden Woods. This device in physics that speeds up.
Spring? The spring?
Not the spring, the accelerator. The accelerator, it speeds it up. Told you it was a tough question. Read again.
Let's see. Let's get physical for 5.
Let's get physical for 5 points. Teams, there's no sign in outer space that says, abandon all hope, ye who enter here. But there might as well be if you get close to a black what, Hollywood?
Black hole.
Black hole, good. Green.
Science potpourri for 20.
Science potpourri for 20 points. Teams, in New York, just the other day, they opened a riveting experience. They showed a fossil model of Beelzebufo, the biggest, it weighed 10 pounds, of these amphibians that was ever seen. Glenarden Woods. A frog. It was the giant frog, Beelzebufo, the devil's frog. Go, red.
Potpourri for 5.
Potpourri for 5 points. Teams, the inventor of this most popular of American toys died recently. He got the idea for this airfoil by looking at pie pans flying through the air. Glenarden Woods.
Frisbee?
Frisbee. That's right. The Frisbee inventor died. Good. Red.
Physical for 25.
Physical for 25 points. Teams, listen carefully. Hollywood, get this one. You're back in the game. Teams, President Obama has instituted what he called the Constellation Program in order to take the place of the shuttles that are about to be decommissioned. For us to get up into outer space to the ISS, we need a new way to do that. What is the ISS? Hollywood.
International Space Station?
That's it. Good. You're back in the game. Go.
Green things for 20.
Green things for 20 points. Teams, tough question. The biomass, the total weight of a tree, is based on the weight of what? 2 parts of that tree? Hollywood. What do you think, ladies?
The trunk and the roots?
Not the trunk and the roots. The 2 parts of the tree that constitute the biomass, the total weight of that tree. Tough question. Benai, what do you think? Yes, please.
Trunk and the branches?
The leaves and the wood. The leaves and the wood. Tough. Go, green.
Science potpourri for 25.
Potpourri for 25, big one in that category. Teams in northern Russia, in Siberia, houses and roads are sinking into the ground because what P-initialed kind of soil there is starting to thaw, and nobody thought it ever would. P-initialed kind of soil. The permafrost, the permafrost. Go green again.
Body system for 20.
Body systems, 20 points. Question is as follows. Teams, what does a pediatric cardiologist do? Hollywood.
Children's hearts. It works with children's hearts.
Yes, children's hearts, absolutely. Good, go.
Body systems for 25.
Body systems, 25 points. Teams, what P-initial term is a kind of substance that animals release to attract the opposite sex? P-initialed, Hollywood.
Fermentation?
Again?
Fermentation?
Fermentation? It's a P-initialed. P-initialed, no. Glenarden Woods, can you tell me the name of these P-initialed chemicals that animals release to attract the opposite sex? These are pheromones. Pheromones. All right, we're down to our last 4 questions. Score 215, 195. Still anybody's game. Surya, you choose.
Green things for 25.
Green things for 25. Big one in that category. Teams. The perfect trees for Munchkin Land are these Munchkin trees the Japanese developed by cutting off the branches. Can you tell me the names of those trees, Glenarden Woods? Yes.
I'll let Donovan.
Donovan, what is it?
Ginkgo?
Not ginkgos. Good try. Good try, Hollywood. The Munchkin trees, the little Japanese trees that are permanently shortened by cutting off their branches periodically, they're known as? Bonsai. Bonsai. Try again, green.
Super 8 for 10.
Super 8 for 10 points. Teams, your question is as follows. Paleontologists recently unearthed a fossil of a creature they are calling Titanoboa. The biggest one of these that ever lived that could have eaten crocodiles. Glenarden Woods.
Snake?
A snake, yes, good. Red.
Let's go green things for 5.
Green things for 5 points. Teams, this kind of cabbage can grow right through the snow because it generates its own heat, but it smells so bad that it is named for this Pepe Le Pew. Hollywood. Yes?
Iceberg lettuce?
Again?
Iceberg?
Nope. It smells so bad that it's named for this Pepe Le Pew character, this cabbage is.
Skunk cabbage?
Skunk cabbage it is. Last question of the game. I won't get to it. Our final score is going to be close. We'll double check and we'll come back and tell you who that third semifinalist is. We'll be right back. And welcome back. My director was just saying it's as good as it gets. He was referring to the shot. I'm referring to our competition. Science Bowl at its best. The essence of science here in Prince George's County. We are proud of all of our players. Look at this final tally. Glenarden Woods 230, Hollywood 195. So close. Glenarden Woods, congratulations. Donovan and Vinay and Kaylee, you did it. And look at all the team members back there. Please say hello also to Anina and Christine and Emma and Ivy and Miss Stewart. One step closer. You are our third semifinalist. Hollywood, let me see some smiles over there. You guys are golden. Maria and Surya and Anne Lorraine, you played a beautiful game. If Bonsai might have done it for you over there. Back there, look at the shadow team. They're a little down in the mouth, which they shouldn't be. Aaron and John, Michelle and Robert. Miss Garrity, thank you for all your work this season to come this close. Please come back next year. We'll see you next time on another edition of Science Bowl. Bye now.